queen.
I like to drink.
Rude.
You don't have anything.
Drama queen.
Sticking it in, you know?
Rude.
I can have a little more time
Drama queen.
for myself.
Rude.
What my day looks like.
Drama queen.
Like, I don't know anything.
Rude.
Problems with alcohol.
Drama queen. Rude. Drama queen.
Good morning to you and welcome to Coffee at the Manor. I thought I'd greet you with a little song today to add a little bit of extra spice to your Thursday. Good morning and hello to you. Thank you for coming. The bestest place to get all the news, reviews and extra tangents that you never knew you needed to know. On today's show, we are going to be looking at the correct kissing. Yes, indeed. You want to stick around for that, which leads us very subtly onto strange laws. There is a connection, just you wait. And I've got a little something to round us off quite nicely. So sit back and enjoy, grab your coffee for today's episode of Coffee at the Manor. Hello there, how are you? Hello there in the comments as well. We've got a few in there. We've got Lady Flutterby. Good morning to you. And we've also got Lady Basket as well. Good job. Good morning to you all. Just check out the Love After Lockup video. Good stuff. I hope you like that one. It's not doing so well for some reason. The views are way down on it. I don't know why. It doesn't seem to be liked so much. Well, there you go. Don't know why. Who knows? It's the big old lottery of YouTube. We have Lord Mustard in the crowd. Good day to you, sir. A very big hello to you. So then, yes, this morning, it is, of course, I've got a few different amazing things. It isn't National Kissing Day. Oh, no. And in fact, today I don't have any world records at all, or llamas, or goats. So, goat and llama fans, I do hate to disappoint you this morning. So I'm going to take you along a little tangent that I floated upon this morning, which started in a delightful place. It started in a delightful land called Instagram. And it was this. This is where I this is the whole reason for what we're looking at today. So this goes and explain. It is a meme. I've killed the sound because it's copyrighted. I don't know if you can read that. Essentially, up here it says toddler at the end of the day. Down here, this one is daddy coming back from work. So yes, here it is. The two delightful men kiss, lovely. And then punchline, of course, is this is the mother that was kept all night entertaining the toddler. Okay, yeah, funny joke, quite like this. But what was puzzling me is like, oh well, these two gentlemen here. Can you tell whereabouts this was filmed according to the amount of kisses that they gave each other? The amazing amongst you will have noticed they did too. So where does that mean? Are they French? Not necessarily. Turns out they might be German. How do we know? Well, let me explain to you what is the correct way to be kissing people internationally. I mean, this is very much a thing you need to know. Should you bump into a Brit or an Afghanistan person, you must know how to kiss them appropriately and how many kisses to give. You'd hate to be offending anybody with your kissing. So allow me to inform you of the bestest ways to conduct yourself in such a manner. Good morning to you. Oh, look at this. We've got so many lords and ladies in here today. Good day to you all. I hope you are very, very well. Good morning, Lady Venus. Well, thank you. Well, thank God, my goodness, look at this. So you're making me think. Anyway, so let's go back to the kissing. So in France, what does it do? Well, let's start off in France, shall we? Because that's the one we all know. Oh, note Christmas tree. Look at that. I have a Christmas tree now. It's not finished yet. I have more stuff. Anyway, so for non-French people, la bise or la bise, I'm not quite sure. I think it's la bise. Can be confusing. Do you greet with a kiss? Should you lean left or right? Well, it turns out that there are many unwritten rules. For example, amongst close friends and family, la bise or la bise, we're going to call it la bise, doesn't it? Let's do that because it sounds good. However, it is not always appropriate in a professional setting. Now, what is fantastic here is they give you a map of kissing. Where in France should you be doing various amounts of kissing? Now, over here in the red zone, stay very aware. You will need to be giving 4 kisses over here, whereas over here, very unfriendly. These areas here, like on the east side over here, east side 1, just 1. Now, moody French bastard. But they are right next door to lots of kissing red people over here. Now, you must be aware when you cross from one to the other, you greet the people going into the red zone with 4, and greet the one coming back with the 1. Yes, there you go. It's amazing. So here you are, no matter where you're going. I shall be, don't tell the kids, but I've booked a sort of holiday to Disneyland next year, 2025, which I guess is round about here-ish, isn't it? That's sort of Paris-y area over here. That's why I now know 2 kisses is perfectly acceptable. Yes, so I'm going to be kissing everybody from here, sort of Calais-ish, to Paris, here-ish. Everybody along the way, get ready. Yeah, I'm coming through with all the kisses. Yes, so here we go. Yeah, the number of kisses has a deep cultural roots, and varies by region. Some say the tradition began centuries ago as a sign of respect or kinship. Over time, the baiser became a symbol of warmth and familiarity. Absolutely. What about the tongue? Well, that's a different area of France. Yes, that's probably more sort of in the downtown area for that one. And they might charge also for that one. So anyway, it's a long-standing tradition. Yes, that's it. It's evolved, especially after the global pandemic. Well, I mean, yes, that is very true. In recent years, many people have become more cautious about physical contact and now skip the la bise in favor of a nod or a handshake. Yes. Well, that's not so great. So let's get visitors. Let's flip down here. Now, of course, now here we are. It tells me very much what I need to know. Paris and northern France, 2 kisses. So if you're down the bottom, 3 kisses, or if you're in the west, east, 4 kisses. Right, so there we go. So now you know what you need to be doing. Tasmania, I'm not sure how many you do in Tasmania. Is it particularly friendly in Tasmania? I don't know. All I know, of course, is the devil. And yeah, that's it. So there you go. That is France. But of course, what if you are in other areas of the world and you think, well, I'm not sure if I should be kissing or shaking or taking it around the back of the bike shit. I mean, what should I be doing in order to infer that I like this person? And I'm familiar and pleased to see them. Well, don't you worry. Here we are, the surprising truth about kissing. Lets us know that reveals that countries like Colombia, Argentina, and the Philippines practice 1 kisses. There you go. Greece, Germany, and Brazil, 2 kisses. And 3 kisses in Belgium and Serbia. So that's probably cold, isn't it? If you get that close to a Serbian. It's a Serbian turban, a Serbian. And the Netherlands, there we go. But hold on to your pants, though, because if you go to Afghanistan, it is, of course, 8 kisses. So plenty of kissing going on there. For a country that sort of frowns upon that sort of thing. They said, right, you can't be in that kind of a relationship, Sonny Jim. Says the man who then kisses his friend and walks down the road holding his hand. Yeah, but there's no shirty, lifty behaviour around here. No. So it's all good, isn't it? So whether from a culture who kisses as a greeting or not, it may come as a surprise to you to find out that active kissing as a romantic gesture is not universal practice. No. In fact, the lip-on-lip action. Lip-on-lip action. After studying 168 cultures for a year, I'm going kissing around the world for a year. Please fund my study. Researchers from the University of Nevada, who could probably go find something else to write their thesis on, found evidence of romantic kissing in only 77 societies. I mean, 46%. there you go. So kissing is very much not a universally human thing to do. Here's some old people kissing. You look at him, he's a chipmunk, isn't he? Look, he went to the dentist and forgot to take out those little cotton ball things. Bless, that's a haircut there. Look at this. That's a cut yourself fringe, isn't it? The DIY fringe there. In fact, they've got the same haircut. While some people view kissing as an expression of admiration, others find kissing offensive. And in public, as an offence, it is considered illegal in some locations. Well, now, in case you're thinking of going to India, well, it's claims according to laws in India, public displays of affection such as kissing are technically illegal. Okay. So really, yeah, if they don't like you very much, they're going to book you for that. But if you're kind of well-to-do and you know stuff, it's fine, right? That's probably how that works, right? You know, realistically. Whereas in Japan, public displays of affection are not illegal, but sometimes frowned upon with sticks and dropping your social score. Yes. The vast amount of different ways to kiss is impressive. Well, with the lips. Well, okay, you can involve tongue, yes, okay, lips, tongue. I mean, how, you know, well, let's find out, you know. Eskimos kiss as two people show sign of affection by pressing their nose and lips against the cheek or forehead of a loved one and breathing in. Well, I don't think you want to go up to your kids and go up to somebody else. It's a bit Biden, that, isn't it? Go and start sniffing somebody's kids. Oh, it's just a greeting. It's just a greeting. Maybe that's it. Maybe we were judging old creepy Uncle Joe, maybe weirdly after all this time, and actually he's just part Inuit, and that's what it was. Reminds me of creepy aunts who, yeah, they smell of polo mints and stuff, don't they? Yes. Anyway, so this type of kissing originated from the Arctic region, and it was termed by early Arctic explorers. There you go. A similar type of kissing has been witnessed in different countries, such as Cambodia, Mongolia, and with the Maori people in New Zealand. Well, yeah. So whether you are one to view kissing as a romantic gesture or informal greeting or an offensive act, I want to commit an offensive act in public. It may be wise to study up on the smooching beliefs and traditions of cultures before you visit them. No, I thought, well, that's a bit strange, isn't it? This is a kind of law. But where do these sort of laws exist? Well, I mean, that led us ever so slightly via this place. That was the part that sort of told me about Afghanistan, but I've already mentioned that 3 or 4 times, so we won't bother going about that. Over here, apparently in Indiana, it is illegal for a man with a mustache to habitually kiss human beings. Like, is that a thing? I mean, like, I know we've got these primitive rules where you're not supposed to, you know, take a herd of buffalo through the town centre, which is not only a bit silly, but, you know, fairly realistic. You know, I wonder where this sort of came. I bet there was a really, like, terrible man in the village, and they made up the rule, right, nobody's allowed to kiss Carrie, Keith, whatever, because he smells and he's got a moustache. So maybe that's the rule. So yes, that is it. Of course, it's Victorian etiquette. It also mentions it required a man to kiss the back of a lady's hand. There you go. So it wasn't that you had to do it. They thought we're all polite. It's just no, it's following orders. That's what it was. So, of course, with that knowledge of it being illegal, of course, for a man with a moustache to habitually kiss human beings in Indiana, whether or not that's true, I can't find. I thought we might pop along to see what other kind of strange rules and laws we can find around the world. Yes, that's a picture of people kissing, in case you weren't entirely sure. And if we go up a little bit, it's illegal not to smile in Milan, Italy. I don't know if you've ever been to not a lot of smiling in Italy. That really, like, I'm sorry, I hope I don't offend anybody who has Italian connections. They're quite moody. Or either they just don't like me, one of the two. I don't know. It's probably the latter, isn't it? But yeah, I didn't find them quite like that. But apparently in Milan specifically, among many old laws, which for some reason are not yet repealed, there is a happy law still in force in Milan today. Oh my goodness, could you imagine? I think if the vote went a different way, we'd have that. Thanksgiving would be replaced by that, wouldn't it? To be more specific, it was not actually a law, but a local regulation from Austro-Hungarian times, which requires every Milanese citizen to smile. I mean, isn't it annoying when people ask you to tell you, yeah, cheer up, smile, might never happen. You know, that thing, that's pretty much just, that's now been enforced, isn't it? Now when someone says that to you, sorry, and you really gotta squeeze that smile out, haven't you? Like a jar when it's heaving out boo, and you just got to get little turned up ends. Yeah. Anyway, so yes, but of course they, as with any law, it has a few exceptions. Obviously, the most understandable exceptions are for people who are at funerals and at the bedside of family members suffering from a serious disease. Serious disease, it's very specific, serious disease. So if it's a broken leg or, you know, a mild case of nearly dead, no. I'm really sorry you're dying. That's quite difficult. I'm going to get my teeth whitened, by the way. That'd be a much nicer picture. Anyway, it's not clear how the respective regulation was adopted by the authorities, or why it has not been repealed. However, it may help in promoting a happy atmosphere in northern Italian city. Well, yes, as I said, moody generally. Another one here. We got you can't destroy money in Scotland. Well, that's absolutely fine, isn't it? There was a band. I don't know if they were international, but they were called KLF, or the K Liberation Front, or Foundation. They were called, and they did like 2 or 3 songs. They did. It was called KLF. And Ancients of Moo Moo. Do you remember that? Ancients of Moo Moo. Yeah. So they did that, and they burnt £1 million in cash. Can you imagine £1 million? And then, like, they were asked 10 years later, do you regret doing that? Yes, we very much need £1 million now, because the 90s was only lucrative until about 1998. So yeah, there you go. That's there we go. What else? What else we have in the list? We've got these British Salmon Act, which I quite like. Also, how this is worded. The most controversial part of the act is Section 32, entitled "Handling of Fish in Suspicious Circumstances." Yes, okay. Essentially, this section creates an offence where a person receives or disposes of a fish that was, or is believed to have been, illegally fished. There we go. So it's the suspicious handling. Yes. Yes. Let's see what else we've got. We've got. I knew this one, and I imagine a few of you might know this one. 3 a.m. Eternal, yes. Oh, yeah. Eternal, yeah. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to have my own party over here. I do apologize if you guys. Terrible singing. He talks shit anyway, and now he's going to sing. Anyway, so Singapore is one of the most developed countries in the world. So you might find it strange that he's declared war on a popular substance. Chewing gum. Yeah. Sounded freakier than it was. It did. It's quite. I've got to, by the way, and now I'm like, by the way, Christmas was banned in Scotland for over 400 years. Oh, really? Was it because of the religious thing, or just because those pesky Brits were doing it, and or just because the Scottish are a bit like that? I don't know. Too busy headbutting each other. Anyway, so chewing gum is not illegal per se in Singapore. So if you visit the Asian countries, you can consume it without a problem. However, you might want to bring back a pack with you, as you'll not be able to find it in Singaporean shops. Oh dear. The reason is to promote cleanliness, basically. They don't chuck it everywhere. That's fair enough. Well, idolatry. Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Yeah. And great points for the use idolatry. That is, much better than my words. So anyway, gaming ban. You'd be surprised at this one, actually. I was moderately surprised. Monaco, of course, the place famous for its racing and all that kind of business and strange royal families. Yes, here they are. You can't. It's a gambling ban for the citizens of Monaco. But don't worry, if you're not from Monaco, you can actually go there and do a bit of gambling anyway. And it also applies to the gambling house employees, apparently, as well. So they can go there, but they can't actually do any gambling. And several other restrict access apply to military personnel and members of the congregation, as well as individuals who are likely to cause a scandal or incident. Well, there you go. It's illegal to climb trees in Oshawa, in Canada. There you go. Did you know Canada last month was my second largest audience? Can you believe it? 3.4%. Because of course America takes up 89%, I think, of people that watch this are American. And then, or at least their VPNs are telling me they're in America. And then, yes, the next one down was Canada at 3.4%. So, bonjour, ça va? Welcome to the place. Yeah, bien, très bien. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, good afternoon if you are from there. Next on for there actually was England, and then I think it was New Zealand, and then Australia. I thought I had more in Australia than it was new, but 1.8 from Australia, but 2 points something from New Zealand. There you go. The interesting things that I can bore you with in the morning. Anyway, let's see. In the Canadian city of Oshawa, it is a strict legislation concerning the protection of trees. A law adopted in 2008 expressly prohibits any interference with any tree located on municipal property, including climbing them. So basically, needless to say, it's because of destruction of trees and injuring people. That's fairly reasonable, isn't it? You can't feed the pigeons in Venice. That place stinks, isn't it? Because all the sewage comes out in here, doesn't it? It stinks in Venice. It's supposed to be really romantic, but actually it just smells like poop. There you go. Yeah, so yeah, and they don't want more poop, pigeon poop as well as all the rest of the poop. Welcome to Venice. It's great. I mean, no, it's lovely. No, go to Venice. It's great. Yeah, just go when you've got a cold. Car wash obligations in Abu Dhabi. The authorities in the capital of the United Arab Emirates are very concerned about anything that can distort the city's image. Therefore, drivers should regularly clean their vehicles of dust and dirt. Otherwise, the authorities might impound it and apply a fine of 500 dirhams. I don't know. Is that a lot? Let's just quickly look that up over there. What the hell does that mean? 500 dirhams. It's about £100. Oh, blimey. Okay, then. What's that in your delightful American dollars? Oh, we're going to go down to the U. Why do they put ours at right at the bottom every time? What's that in American language? $136. That's quite a fine, isn't it? I don't know what might be a reasonable fine. But there you go. Amazing. Great use this little tab thing, don't you think, as well? Fantastic. That's how it is. You can't pass animals. And the mask ban law in Denmark. Apparently, they made a criminal code in 2000. That's quite late, isn't it? I imagine that's as a particular targeting a certain group of people, isn't it? I imagine in Denmark. Therefore, law states that any person participating in meeting gatherings or processes taking place in public spaces shall have their face fully uncovered. And apparently they said, no, it's okay during COVID. So there you go. Interesting. Also, while we're there, I thought, well, that is some interesting abilities here. I thought we'd just take a quick one over to here. I thought, well, what about the American laws? Have America still got some crazy laws that we can go and look at? Over here, according to this, the police department of Ohio are allowed to bite a dog if they think it would help to calm the canine down. Who is to assess the sort of mental thing of the dog? Well, the dog was a little bit anxious, so I bit it. Really? You can do this? Apparently, yes, over there in Ohio. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine to bite a dog. Well, I don't know about that. Also, a place in West Australia. You're not allowed to carry more than 50 kilograms of potatoes because that is considered illegal. Yes. Yeah. What else we got here? You can't moonlight. You've got to wear a dress code. Oh, belly dancing's only for ladies. I wonder if they had a bit of a problem with that before they put that law in. It is bizarre, isn't it? I mean, it's really kind of nice because everybody can have a go, can't they? But yeah, very odd. Unlawful driving through Washington City. This weird law states that motorists with criminal intentions that are driving through the city limits of Washington must call the police chief before entering the city. Right. Oh, I see. So if you're going to go and do some naughty stuff, you've got to let them know first. That's a great one, isn't it? Yes. Hello there. I'm going to Washington with the intention of murdering several people. What do they eat? Yeah, okay. Yeah, cheers. Don't forget to pay the toll bridge on the way in. Yeah. Kissing in French trains. Surprisingly, so you can't say hello then. Well, they don't say hello anyway, rude bastards. 2 children not play fine. There you go. So, hang on, I've just spotted this one. Hang on a second. We've got to have this one because it's got the word fart in it. The fart law. The law isn't for cows, but the dairy farmers in California are going to have a tough time in the coming years. This weird law states that dairy farms are required to cut down their methane emissions by 40% by the year 2030. My goodness me. Think positively about everything. Yeah, that's the standard. I think, isn't it? Yes, absolutely. It is, isn't it? This is what happens if Karens are allowed to sign executive orders and things like that, isn't it? What happens when a Karen accidentally gets voted into some sort of local power? You get this. She hates old Gary's farm up the road. She says the cows are too stinky, therefore we've got to bring that down. But I think this is a wider one, isn't it? I think we'd probably get quite political if we go down these, don't we? Let's have one more of these before I move on to the last one. Naming a pig. Here we are. Naming stuff. We find people that are awful at naming stuff, like bat naming people. They were awful. So France here seems to be on the crappy naming thing. It's easy, but not as much in France, where the pet owners need to ensure they do not name their pigs after the state heads. Oh, is that it? Well, that's crap, isn't it? Anyway, so I was flicking through now. There you go. Those are some amazingly strange laws from around the world. Now, there was one in particular that I thought we might journey to before we do leave this subject a little bit, and it is the experience that one YouTuber had when they visited the most northern town in the world, who had a particular law which I think you might find is quite difficult to avoid breaking. Now, I am not going to try. I might try that name. Let's see. Traveling to the remote town of Longyearbyen. Anyway, off the coast of Norway, YouTuber Simon Wilson was blown away when he discovered one strange rule that the frosty town had. Having made the trip to the town of Longyearbyen on the island of Svalbard, from his native Wales, Simon picked up on a number of unusual quirks, about the northernmost town in the world. However, it was the law that states that it is illegal to die which shocked him the most. Yes, indeed, in Svalbard, it is in fact illegal to die. Again, quite difficult to avoid doing that. Again, it depends on why they would have said that. There was an old moany old person, and they said, right, we're banning mouldy old person. Moany old people and mouldy and moany. We're banning them all. Therefore, you can't be old and die here, and so therefore you got to go somewhere else when you get old. So maybe that's it. I'm going with Lady Venus's pain in the arse conclusion, which I think is perfectly reasonable, balanced, and fine. So apparently on this particular island here, locals usually begin to leave the island as they reach 70. Yes. Whilst the law might sound bizarre at first glance, the reasoning is rooted in old age science evidence. Yeah, right. Old age and science. Yeah. They don't necessarily go hand in hand, really, do they? According to Christian Mayer, from the Norwegian University of Science and Technology, Christian explained the ban, saying the reason for this is that the permanently frozen ground will not only tend to keep your buried remains from decomposing and push them to the surface, it might also perfectly preserve the disease that killed you. Oh, I see. For the locals to pick up later. Oh, I see. So basically, they don't want corpses resurfacing by accident, which I suppose, yeah. Oh, look. There's Auntie Vera popped up to say hello again. Well, you imagine they've got a wig and you never really knew, and there's a popped up skeleton wearing a wig, sort of thing, and to stop diseases. So okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay. I can agree with that. And add in the angle of moany old people. And yes, there we go. I think we've got Svalbard, whatever it was called, down. Good job. Well done, us. So the last story for today, before we go, is a man that I find quite delightful. I think you guys quite delighted when people go ahead and are slightly rebellious. He's a moderately rebellious man in the world of Scrabble. It is, of course, now the Spanish Scrabble world champion beat competitors without speaking the language. Good man. So it is, of course, the news that that won't go down, because I suppose I've got to click on a bloody advert or something. There we go. There he is. Look at the fringe on that one. Oh, that's a definite home cut. That, look at this. Not even. I mean, really, could you not see that? Really? Isn't the bowl that you're using as a template? Gotta avoid that kind of shit. But no, there he is. Delightful t-shirt too. I mean, here we are. Oh, look. No, it's a mullet. Look, see. He's got Scrabble at the front and leisure at the back, and he sleeps on his left. Anyway, so here he is. This is Nigel Richards, a professional player who holds 5 English world titles, won the Spanish Scrabble Championship in Granada in Spain. In fact, it popped up earlier on my thingy jobber. He's also won in France as well. And what I quite like about this guy, doesn't speak Spanish at all, just knows what the words. Here he is. Now, here's a man I expect to do that kind of shit. And that says stuff, and who cares what that says. But yes, here he is. Isn't he delight? Yes, so rather than bothering to learn the language, he just knows what he looks like. And I think that's absolutely fair. Why not do that? There he is, smashing everybody around. Not even bothering. It's like anybody going on holiday. I'm not going to bother learning the language, but I'll know what the sign for pub looks like. This is just a very advanced version of that, isn't it? So, yeah, fantastic. There you are. What a man. We love superhero here from Florida, probably, going around smashing the other people with his thing and looking very pleased with himself as a bang. Lovely. What a delight. What a delight. So that was our little strange trail that we went on today. Yes, from that funny little post that we saw on Instagram, it took us in a funny little rabbit hole, and I thought I might share it with you. Because whether or not, the way I write these things is I have myself a cup of coffee in the morning, and I sit and I look at the news, and then here it is. Ta-da! All people have arrived. Hello, how are you? Nice of you to come. I'm actually going to go now, but hi, great for you to turn up anyway. So I'm off. Thank you very much for turning up. Thank you very much for being here and your continued support. It does mean a lot to me. It really, really does. And I hope that we'll continue to do this. The audience is getting slightly bigger, which is lovely. More people are finding this. People don't like this as much as they do like the regular videos. But I'm determined to stick with it because I kind of like doing it. Anyway, so that's it from me today. What else do you need to know? There's nothing else that you need to know. We need to know that Lady Venus says, have a wonderful day. I'm sure to me and all of you. And at that point, I will disappear. And I shall bring you the bestest of amazing again tomorrow morning. I do hope you can join me. And so do please stay beautiful. Love to Mother, and you take care of yourself.